Questions 1 through 10 on the 2007 Grade 12 AMC 12B. Isabella's house has 3 bedrooms. Each bedroom is 12 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 8 feet high. Isabella must paint the walls of all the bedrooms. Doorways and windows, which will not be painted, occupy 60 square feet in each bedroom. How many square feet of walls must be painted? Here's a drawing of what I believe the room may look like, and I'll label the dimensions like that. So she wants to paint just the walls, right? So that's going to be 8 times 12, but there's 2 walls of that size. Then 8 times 10, and there's 2 walls of that size. But remember, there's 3 bedrooms, so we have to multiply this by 3. But we have to subtract 60 feet that does not have to be painted in each of the 3 bedrooms. So this is the mathematical equation that will allow us to figure out the total square feet that must be painted. This looks like 3 times 192 plus 160 and minus 180. And that will total 876. So number 1, the answer is E. A college student drove his compact car 120 miles for the weekend and averaged 30 miles per gallon. On the return trip, the student drove his parents' SUV and averaged only 20 miles per gallon. What was the average gas mileage in miles per gallon for the round trip? So in the compact car, he drove 120 miles at 30 miles per gallon. That is the mileage, I guess. So 120 miles, 30 miles per gallon. So that's 4 gallons that he used. And then in the SUV, he drove 120 miles, the same distance. But this time, it's 20 miles per gallon. And therefore, that looks like 6 gallons that he had to use. So in total, for the round trip, is 240 miles for the distance. And the number of gallons is 4 plus 6, which is 10 gallons. And that becomes 24 miles per gallon. And that would be choice B. The point O is the center of the circle circumscribed about ABC, with BOC equal to 120 and AOB equal to 140 as shown. What is the degree measure of ABC? Let's blow this up a bit. So this is a circle, and therefore these are radii. So that basically means that's an isosceles triangle. And therefore this is going to be the same as that. So x plus 120 is equal to 180. And therefore 2x is equal to 60. And therefore x is equal to 30 degrees. So that is 30 degrees right there. In a very similar way, this triangle is also isosceles. So therefore we call this y. That is also y. So 2y plus 140 is equal to 180. And therefore 2y is equal to 40. And therefore y is equal to 20. So there you go, 20. And what do they want in this question? The degree measure of ABC. So ABC is this angle, which is y plus x, which is 20 plus 30, which is 50 degrees. And therefore the answer to this question, number 3, is D. At Frank's Fruit Market, 3 bananas cost as much as 2 apples and 6 apples cost as much as 4 oranges. How many oranges cost as much as 18 bananas? So from the question, we know that 3B, 3 bananas, is equal to 2A, 2 apples. And then we also know that 6A is equal to 4O. I'll put a line through it to indicate that's an O rather than a 0. I don't know if that helps. So we want to figure out a relationship between oranges and bananas, so O and B. Well, we want to therefore get rid of the A's. Looking at this, just manipulate these. So multiply this guy by 3. That'll give me 9B is equal to 6A. And because I've got 6A over here, I can let this equal to that. So that means that 9B is equal to 4O. And we wanted how many? 18 bananas, right? So if I multiply this by 2, I'll get 18 bananas. And that'll be 8 oranges. So there you go. 18 bananas is equal to 8 oranges. So number 4, the answer is B. The 2007 AMC 12 contests will be scored by awarding 6 points for each correct response, 0 points for each incorrect response, and 1.5 points for each problem left unanswered. After looking over the 25 problems, Sarah has decided to attempt the first 22 and leave the last 3 unanswered. How many of the first 22 problems must she solve correctly in order to score at least 100 points? We have 6 points for the number of correct responses, or C, right? C for correct responses. And then 1.5 points for every unanswered, and she leaves 3 unanswered. And we want this to be greater than or equal to 100 points. Okay, so 6C would be greater than or equal to 95.5. And therefore C is greater than or equal to 15.9 approximately. So the number of correct responses must be at least 16. So the answer to number 5 is D. Triangle ABC has side lengths AB equal 5, BC equal to 6, AC equal to 7. 2 bugs start simultaneously from A and crawl along the sides of the triangle in opposite directions at the same speed. They meet at point D. What is BD? Let's draw a little triangle and let's discuss this. So we've got AB here and C here. So AB they tell us is 5, BC is 6, and AC is 7. So we've got a bug, 2 bugs actually. They start at point A, and one goes in this direction and the other goes in that direction. They eventually meet, but they travel at the same speed. So they must both travel the same distance since they're traveling at the same speed. So what is the total distance? The total distance is 5 plus 6 plus 7, which is 18. So since both of them meet somewhere, they must have each traveled 9 units. So that means the first bug travels on this line for 5 and then goes 4. Right? That would equal 9. The second bug travels on this line for 7 and then on this line for 2. Right? And they meet right here, approximately. So they're asking that what is that distance where this is D? They want you to figure out BD. Well, BD, I just labeled as 4. So number 6, the answer is D. All the sides of a convex pentagon ABCD are of equal length, and AB is equal to 90. What is the degree measure of angle E? So let's draw a pentagon that is convex with equal lengths for all the sides. So approximately something like this. So all the sides have equal lengths. All right. Now let's label this A, B, and those are 90 degrees, like that. C, D, and E. Now I have to figure out the measure of that angle. The quickest way, the best way to do this, in my opinion, is to join E with C, like that. If you do that, you will see something very helpful, that EC is the same length as AB, which is the same length as all the sides. And therefore, this triangle, as you can see, is equilateral. So that means this is 60 degrees, that's 60 degrees, that's 60 degrees. Now this is basically a square. So these are all 90 degrees. So angle E is 60 plus 90 degrees. And that is equal to 150. So number 7, the answer is E. Tom's age is T years, which is also the sum of the ages of his 3 children. His age n years ago was twice the sum of the ages then. What is T over n? Tom is equal to the sum of his 3 kids. And n years ago, his age was twice the sum of the kids. So this time we have to subtract n from each of their ages, like that. And let's simplify this. So we got 2k1 plus k2 plus k3 minus 3n, like that. And this right here is just t. So it becomes t minus 3n. And that is equal to t minus n. And this is going to help us solve for this t over n. So you get 2t minus 6n is equal to t minus n. So that becomes t is equal to 5n, and therefore t over n is equal to 5. So number 8, the answer is D. A function f has the property that f 3x minus 1 is equal to x squared plus x plus 1 for all real numbers x. What is f at 5? F at 3x minus 1 is equal to x squared plus x plus 1. And then they want you to figure out f at 5. Okay, be careful. Don't put 5 as the value for x. Don't do a knee-jerk reaction here. What goes in this bracket, they're saying, is equivalent to 5. So that means that 3x minus 1 is equal to 5. So that is what will help you solve for x. That means 3x is equal to 6, and therefore x is equal to 2. That is what you have to substitute for x, 2. So this becomes 2 squared plus 2 plus 1, which is 4, plus 3, which is 7. So number 9, the answer is A. Some boys and girls are having a car wash to raise money for a class trip to China. Initially, 40% of the group are girls. Shortly thereafter, 2 girls leave and 2 boys arrive, and then 30% of the group are girls. How many girls were in the group initially? G and B, those will be my letters, and initially G over G plus B, they're saying is 40%. So that's my equation. So I've got 0.4G plus 0.4B, and this gives me 0.6 G is equal to 0.4B. And then the next condition involves the fact that 2 girls have left, but 2 boys have arrived. And this ratio is going to be G minus 2 over G minus 2 plus B plus 2. And that is 40%. Like that. Sorry, 30%. Okay. So now cross multiply and you get G minus 2 is equal to 0.3G plus 0.3B, because the 2's cancel. Solving for this, you get 0.7G minus 2 is equal to 0.3B. But instead of B, I'm going to put the substituted value for G. So that's going to be 0.6G over 0.4, like that. So solving, you get 0.45G is equal to 0.7G minus 2. And that gives me 2 is equal to 0.25G. And therefore G is equal to 8. So initially there were 8 girls in the group. So number 10, the answer is C.